We're good. Let's go ahead and slide on over. I got a few more topics actually. But the one thing that I want to get into is I want to revisit some decants. On Wednesday, one of the things that we like to do is bring some decants to the congregation. So we got 3 on deck right here. We got 3 decants that we're gonna discuss. Let me move these over real quick so we can kind of go back and visit. Yeah, I definitely want to revisit that penny drops. So we're gonna move these over to the side, and we got 3 on deck. Now, the 3 that we are bringing to the congregation, you know how we do it. We bring one decant that's from 1 mil to 4 mil. We bring another one from 5 mil to 9 mil, and then we bring another one from 10 mil on up. Most of the time, it's 10 to 30. Let's get into it. I got 3 of them on deck. The first one that we're going to get into is going to be JPG Lamar. Just got to tap into it, man. It's always good to revisit a classic fragrance. Let me say that. And I actually have a story about that one that we're going to tap into. The second fragrance coming from our 5 to 9 mls is going to be... Oh, no, this is a 10 ml. My bad. My 10 mls and up. Boss the Scent. Lamel Elixir is going to be our 8 ml. And then for our 1 ml, we have Argos Bacio Immortale. I really wanted to smell an Argos fragrance. Like, I might go live tonight and I might just talk fragrances for like an hour or two. So let's get into it. 3 on deck. Let's go into these 3 fragrances and just revisit to see if we changed our mind on any one of these being full bottle fragrances, or are they just good where they're at in the decant and we can use them sparingly. Let's get into it. Hit a like for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's talk about Bacio Immortale first, because I've just been needing to get my hands on some Argos fragrances, man. This one, now I will still say the Sacred Flame is probably the one fragrance that I need from them off top. Like, when I first buy my first Argos, it's going to be Sacred Flame. It's going to be Sacred Flame for sure. Move these back a little bit. Oh, yeah. Let's get into it, man. Bright, woody, flat in a way. Very much so an earthy fragrance. This one is so like the quality that Argos gives you in their fragrances is damn near unmatched now. It really is. They do a great job. Man. This one very much so comes off like woody but somewhat spicy at the same time. You can tell that they tried to do a little bit of citrus in there, but it's really not much that you get in this. Woods, aromatics, like a fresh, spicy, earthy, spicy type of mix that you get in this one. Not a fragrance for everybody. This one does not have that mass appeal DNA to it at all. Very much so a unique fragrance. Gonna be a masculine fragrance for sure. This one's nice though. I'm rocking with it. I'm rocking with Bacio Immortale, man. That's a beautiful fragrance. And I'm gonna let that one transition. I really want to get into these other ones. I'm gonna let that one transition for a little bit, because I think that that's where the rose, those floral accords really start to pop out in that one. And I really don't know too many brands that do rose like Argos. Like, when it comes to those floral accords that they do, it's kind of hard to find somebody that does that. But I don't know, this one could be like a lot of leather too. Like, it just smells woody as hell. The next fragrance that I want to let's talk about JPG Lamel. Now, I know for a fact that for me, this one won't be full bottle, but it is good to revisit this one and understand the memories and the history of it. And surprisingly, this is one of the fragrances, like one of the first like higher end designer fragrances at the time that I had bought. My first time getting my hands on this fragrance was in 2009. I was getting ready to go to prom. And me and my uncle Junior, was walking around the mall and trying to find a fragrance to wear. You know how it go, man. So you got that male guidance, and he didn't know the name of the fragrance. He was just saying, hey, your uncle put me on this fragrance. All I know is that it's shaped like a man. Like, that's all I can tell you. So we went walking around the mall. I know it's old school. I know it's classic. This shit is nice. This is nice, man. I don't care, man. This DNA is nice, man. The Lamel, the OG DNA, this just works. I like this fragrance, man. I like this. But it mainly that mint. But anyway, me and him, we was walking around trying to figure out what to buy. He told me something about, my other uncle said something about a fragrance with like shaped like a man. So I was like, all right, man, let's go check it out. Let's see what it is. Bruh, I smelled it. Oh, bought it right then. That was the most I ever spent on a fragrance at the time. That was the most I ever spent on a fragrance at the time. And I remember wearing that. Well, I wore it. Look, let me tell you something. I wore that shit to prom. It was the bottle, the JPG bottle is like shaped like a man. Like the Lamel bottle is shaped like the big. Hold on, man. Y'all gonna stop acting like y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Y'all, hey, Rio, you gonna stop acting like you don't know what I'm talking about, fam. You know what I'm talking about. A little Corso bottle. But anyway, yeah, man. So I ended up wearing that to prom, bro. And so young, so naive. I think I sprayed that shit like 5 times, bro. I know I smelled great. Got it. I loved it. But man, like the reaction I got from my date, like it was on. Like that's I think that was one of the things that really swayed me to dip heavily into fragrances. Cause that night, boy, I'm about to go down memory drive. Boy, hold on, man. Look, if you've been to prom and you had a good prom night, you know what it is, man. Look. The lavender, bro, this is a lot of aromatic. This fragrance just bring me back to memory lane because we was in Houston. We was at the Galleria. Not the Galleria, we was at the aquarium. We drove from the aquarium, the Houston Aquarium, all the way to Galveston, bro. I'm on Galveston. We racing on that bit, going 120. I think I hit 132 at the max, the fastest I ever drove in a car. I would never do it again. I promise you, word to everything. I would never do it again. But unless I'm on the track. But that night was 130 in that bit. Bro, man, me and my lady in the seat. Oh, man, it was wild. It was wild. And I would like to think that a lot of that was attested to, like, not only with how I was feeling that day, but the fragrance. Because at this point in time, like, my signature fragrance at this time, I bullshit you not, it was like Bod Black. I was a fan of Bod Black at the time, Curve Green. I was a fan of Kenneth Cole Reaction, the green apple joint. I keep telling y'all I'm a fan of the green joints. So for me, when I got this and I wore it on, and I'm like, oh, so this is what it's like. Because my uncle was telling me, he was like, yo, hey, I'm telling you, nephew, you better watch out. Don't be no slouch. When you throw this one on, like, make sure you on your shit. You know, make sure you get behind your ears. Get the Similac off your back. Like, he was going in. He was telling me a lot of stuff. And I was making sure that, boy, when I put this shit on, looking back on it, I probably should have did like 15 sprays. I was a 60 spray at the time. 5, 6 sprays. I think I'm good. You know me, I'm big boy now. I'm big boy with the sprays. 12 minimum. So at that time, yeah, man. Yeah, bro. It was a great night. I'm telling you, if you remember your prom night, drop the fragrance that you wore on your prom night. That's what I want to know right there. Because I had you definitely do something about 2 stops. You know what I'm saying? By the time we make the Galveston, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. It was a wrap. Now let's get into one more fragrance, which is going to be Boss the Scent. Hugo Boss the Scent. Let's tap into this one. This one should be a lot. If I remember correctly, I think this is one that I didn't mind because I think it had a little bit like a fruit essence to it. I do remember it being spicy, which I'm still getting a lot of those spices. Hey, what y'all laughing at, man? Y'all laughing too much in the chat right now, man. What? Hold on, man. I know I'm not the only one that got a good prom story. Let me know. But anyway, Hugo Boss the Scent. A lot of spices, man. A lot of spices, like warm spice, ginger, you get that. But it also smells like it has a nice creamy side to it as well. Very much so an aromatic filled fragrance. A little bit of fruits in the opening with this one, but it's mostly going to be like that warm spice that you get. Hold on. 12 sprays with that bottle, I would have finished it like 10. Look, I'm telling you, and this was like in 2009 too, because that's when I went to prom. So that at the time, I remember that fragrance being like big body, fam. Big body. Givenchy Pie, that's a good one. I actually had a bottle of that one too, but I ran out before, like, because I only had like that much left. I ain't have too much of that one. I remember that one. That was a good one too. That's a good one too. Very much. I remember that fragrance being very warm. I haven't had it in the collection in a while, but I remember Givenchy Pie being very warm. But going back into this, the scent, nice. Nice, very much so a basic designer fragrance. I can see this one getting compliments too, though, especially like with that warm spice, those aromatics that you get, that nice hint of like the freshness that you get in the opening. I can see this one being that compliment magnet. I think my problem when it comes to the scent is that the smell, even though the smell is nice, is not to the point where I feel the need to have a bottle unless I can get it at a great price. Like if I find this at the rack stores for like $20 for a 50 ml, then yeah, I can see myself getting it. But anything over that is like, man, you know what I'm saying? It's too much of the stuff. It's too much of the stuff that we can be tapping into. You feel me? It's way too many other fragrances we could be tapping into. But I like this though. I like this. It's just, I think that when it comes to a lot of fragrances, and it's not just this one, I think this is a thing with a lot of Hugo Boss fragrances, especially the ones that's in the Boss line. As nice as they are, you can always think of a few other fragrances that's in that exact price range that you would much rather have. Like I know right now I would much rather have Hawaii Tropical. I still need to get that one. I can wait. You know what I'm saying? If I had to choose between spending money on Hugo Boss the scent or the Hawaii Tropical, I'm choosing the Hawaii Tropical. If I'm like, it's so, or the new Atlantis from French Avenue. Like, it's too many other things that I would much rather want to tap into when I think about Hugo Boss, the Boss line. Damn it, boy, they did do this nice, man. I'm telling you, like the way they did the aromatic, that lavender, that warm spice, the way they did that, I ain't gonna lie, I gotta give them their credit, man. I definitely gotta give them their credit. Let's go back to Bacio more. Hold on, did I? Oh my gosh, I messed up. My bad, y'all. I forgot. Look, I'm working because somebody said if I could put the name of the fragrances in there. I forgot to put that in there. I apologize. I had it typed up. I just forgot to put it in the video. So I apologize. Going back to Bacio. Bacio is going back in that lane of like a... Bacio is going in that lane of like an Irish leather fragrance. If you've ever tried Irish leather by Memo Paris, that's very much so how this one's going. Because the way the leather is coming off in this one, very much so a earthy, fresh, spicy, aromatic fragrance with a lot of leather. You're going to get most of that. I'm not really picking up too much outside of that. Beautiful fragrance in my personal opinion. But this one ain't going to be for everybody. And then going back to Lamel. Yeah, man. It's just a stroll down memory lane on this one. Beautiful aromatics. Like, would I say that I still need a full bottle of that one in 2025? No. But a decan will always be nice to have a Lamel from JPG. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section. Make sure you hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's go back over here. Man, let me tap back into the chat. Hugo Absolute is my fave. That was a good one. That was a good one. But again, for me, it just goes back to is it warranted for a full bottle purchase? That's all for me. You need Vulcan Boy. I've tried that one. It's cool. Like, I ended up trying a couple of those at the Dallas shop. I tried Vulcan Foy. I tried Malachite. I think they got that orange tropical kiss joint too, the mango. Like, I tried a couple of them. They're cool. But like, you gotta remember, when it comes to me, I'm not the biggest fan of like, though I'm starting to get more into it. But those extremely tropical fragrances like that, they somewhat off-putting to me. Especially because I'm not the biggest fan. I'm getting more into the gourmand. So I gotta say that. I'm definitely getting more into the gourmand fragrances for sure. Let's get into the next topic. Move these to the side real quick. Oh no, I need to put that one up. Let me just move these right here for right now.